Hey dwraysgarage fans, thanks for coming back for another session with dwray. I apologize for my voice being a little hoarse. I've been traveling and managed to pick up a bug that just will not leave me. Today's project, as you probably divined, is we are going to turn the rear chromed emblem black to go along with the rest of the car, which has blacked out trim and other aspects to it. So that's really the only chrome on the vehicle, with the exception of a little bit in the headlights. And so wanted to get that corrected. What you're gonna need: a little bowl of hot water, put the PlastiDip in, some covering, some tape, some earbuds, nice new microfiber, the PlastiDip, and of course some isopropyl alcohol. I do a 3-to-1 ratio just to prep the surface and get it all cleaned up, as you'll see here in a moment. Set the water down with the PlastiDip in it and let that start to get the molecules all nice and tight while we do a quick and speedy clean in and around the letters. So you'll see earbuds, a nice trick to get in all the crevices is just to spray some of the solution on there and go to work and get all this surface thoroughly cleaned and dried so the PlastiDip has the best chance to adhere. Once you got that set, you want to set the tape, give an inch roughly around the perimeter of the work area you're going to be coloring, and that's just going to help you get a good mask, so when you're peeling off you've got something to grip onto. And magically, like PlastiDip does, it tends to hold on to the right parts as long as you're delicate with the process. Overspray is a factor, so cover up, get plenty of coverall on there or whatever you use, paper, anything else, and give yourself good coverage to protect from that overspray. While it does come off relatively easy with isopropyl alcohol, spending $1 on the plastic and taking the 2 minutes it takes to get it done is also a good way to go. Yep, you see what you're seeing. I did not film the actual first spray. I filmed once I was done spraying. So here you can see a nice wet coat of PlastiDip, which was phase 1. Historically, I've gone a little too light. I've done the tack coat and all this stuff, and I think the answer to get the right finish without as much texture is just to get in there and give it a nice wet coat. Here we're on spray round 2 after maybe 10-15 minutes of drying time. Coming at it from a different angle. I came pretty much head on, top to bottom the first round. This, as you can see, going angled, and again giving it really liberal coating. The only thing you're really looking out for is just to avoid runs, so you don't want to see any drips. And then again, 15 minutes later, moving into round 3, taking again a different angle, making sure I'm coming at these letters from all the angles so I don't leave any chrome displayed, giving the PlastiDip the opportunity to get into all the nooks and crannies. Starting up round 4, nothing revolutionary going on here. Just taking on, again, another angle, kind of shooting upwards on the underside of the lettering in an attempt to make sure, like I said before, we just get all that silver gone, which, to me, for whatever reason, just unsightly. And then just staying with it, getting nice, wet. I don't know if thick or wet's the right term, but you want a wet look, and you just want to make sure you get it to the point where you think it's about to drip, but you don't let it happen. And that's how you get that less textured finish, which people tend to complain about. And I've witnessed and done myself on these kind of projects. 5th and final going in. Just going to take a really good beating, head on at this deal, and catch anything I think that might be still gapped. At this point, I recall, really, it felt like we had good coverage. Now I just want to make sure we had good thickness and good adherence. So when we're pulling away the parts we don't want left on there, we've got good thick pieces to pull and tug on, so we're not get left with partial pieces of dip and an extra fight that we weren't looking for. This is the moment of truth, and every time we do this. And I have to admit, I didn't necessarily go in thinking I was going to be this bold and try and take it all in one fell swoop, but I just felt pretty good about the thickness that we'd applied, and then it was particularly hot out that day, so the drying times were really short, and if I had to go back and fix it, that wasn't going to be a huge deal. So essentially just trying to pull away at this so I can get the entire bottom lifted up and out of the way so we can get a better idea of what we're working with. I would tell you this method is fine. Probably a safer method is to take it more piece by piece, move the bigger parts out of the way so you're not wrestling on too many fronts, because the only front you care about is what's going on around these letters. And the instant you don't see something and it starts to peel away, if you keep pulling, you won't be able to salvage it. However, if you see it start to peel away, you can get an earbud and just push it in. It's still generally tacky for a few minutes after you're in this project, so it does make it easy to push any of the little sections that may be bubbling just a hair, which there weren't any on this project, but I've had it on others. If you push those back down, you can salvage some of those situations. So as you can see, the bulk is gone. Now it's just a matter of finessing the project, getting the smaller parts of PlastiDip removed from in between the letters and in the full sections there. You can see I'm using very gently and cautiously a plastic pry tool, and then you'll see that I migrate into also a pry tool plus a very tight pincer, tweezer type tool, just to get out of the A's in Macon, because they're really difficult to get a grab on with a big clumsy pry tool like that. And everything came out really smoothly and well, and this is just, again, probably, I think this is real time, so you can see it's not taking a long time, but just be careful with what you're doing, pay attention, because you know, you don't really want to have to go backwards at this stage of the game. Now, just for one final piece, there was just little bits of overspray, little bits of adhesive from the painter's tape. It came up in no time flat, and as you can see here, the final result, very clean, really one of the better jobs. And I would argue that, in my opinion, this is what PlastiDip can do. It can work on some trims, but I think perhaps vinyl wrap might be a better solution there. But for emblems, badging, I think PlastiDip's the way to go, and I think this is how you get it done. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps you if you want to remove some of that shiny, nasty chrome stuff. And like, subscribe if you don't mind. If you like this kind of thing, stay tuned. I know I owe you a dyno speed test after we've got the goodies, the exhaust and plenum attached to the car, and they will be forthcoming. So stay tuned, subscribe, hit that notifications button so we can make sure you know as soon as that video comes out for you to watch. Just catch you soon. Be memorable. Be well.